welcome to my birthday party. Today's my birthday party. It's a little bit late.
A little late, isn't
and
it?
It's a little bit delayed is the word we're looking for, not late, because we're never late. Bill, hand me that birthday pie. This is my birthday pie from the Woodbridge Inn. Happy birthday to me, happy birthday to me. It's going to be a little gone in a few minutes.
Oh, you're going to eat it.
Hans Rueffert is in the house, and he knew if he showed up without this, he'd have to go back to Jasper, Georgia. So now when they serve it at the Woodbridge Inn, it's a little bit foo-foo, and it's got some raspberry sauce over it, and it has some Cool Whip. I don't really care about that. I just wanted to do something, and I'm going to tell y'all, I told you I change clothes quite often. I changed clothes 3 times this morning, because I kept getting dressy and dressier and dressier, and I said, oh man, you're going to be eating a lemon pie. You don't need no dressiness to mess up those clothes. So there's my happy birthday lemon pie.
You just have to put you a little hanky on you.
I could do that. I could do that. I don't see any forks or spoons, so I guess you're going to start at one side and I'm going to start at the other. There you go.
Yeah, Three Stooges type pie.
Today we are welcoming my dear, dear friend who is on the road to recovery. 2011 is our year of recovery. There will be recovery from financial disaster. There will be recovery from depression. There will be recovery from medical issues. 2011 is the year. We are coming back, baby, and we're coming back stronger than ever. I think we're going to make it. I think we're going to make it.
That's good. 2011 needs to be, because the Congressional Budget Office says 2037 won't be.
No, we probably won't be here in 2037.
Did you hear what they said on the news this morning?
Bad.
Social Security?
Bad.
Yeah. Well, you'll be dead and gone by then. You're way old.
Let me tell y'all about Social Security. Here I go again. You should never have started this year in so much trouble. Now the government will probably come and get me today. I'm a widow, and that man worked all his life. But because I choose to be an overachiever and don't sit at home on the couch, and I work a couple of jobs, and I make more than $13,000 a year.
You do?
I can't draw his Social Security. And I said, how could I get it? And they said, oh, well, if you were unemployed, or if you were destitute, or if you just worked a little peon job, well, I can't work a peon job because I'm not that way. So the government needs to rethink the widow's benefits. I'm sorry. If you know, he's dead. He is not going to get 1 dime of that money. I should be able to draw that little listen, y'all, $667 a month. It won't buy your groceries, but it is his by right. It should be mine.
It's about 3 tanks of gas.
Yeah. And I can't get it because I make more than $13,000 a year. So basically, I just need to sit at home on the couch and rock, I reckon. I don't know. It blows my mind. And I was excited about getting this old age I got to get that pie, because I knew it'll be the year I get to draw it. It ain't going to happen.
Look at the positive side of that, though. You're doing your contribution to helping the deficit.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. So y'all, you're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you very much. And
see, there's a positive side to it.
Yes, there is. Yes, there is. And I'm so thankful to have 2 jobs. I mean, I really am. But I just think the government's got it wrong. They give it to the people who don't deserve it, and they turn you down if you are really, really in trouble. And then you go, you know, we had to hire an attorney for 2 years. I fought Social Security, a blind kid on dialysis, and I was told, oh, he hadn't been blind long enough. Or couldn't he work between his 3 dialysis? And I said, no. Well, couldn't we train him? No. Well, you know, everybody knows the story. He passed away. But for 2 years, I fought the government to get that kid Social Security. Now, the one good thing is they did go back, and they paid back pay for 2 years, which was a great thing because he needed it desperately. But it just blew my mind, because I'm like, he's lost his sight, he's on dialysis 3 days a week, and what job do you think he could do? And then he was very, very depressed, And, you know, imagine that, y'all. I mean, you're 28 years old, you lose your sight, and then you lose your kidneys, and then you're just kind of going downhill from there. But the government said, no, we'll have to turn him down again. Turned him down 4 times.
I'm sorry I brought all that up.
Yeah, why did you bring that up?
I don't know.
So if y'all have been turned down, I will tell you this. If you've been turned down and turned down and turned down, about 4 times turned down, keep on trying, because we finally got it. Don't give up. Now, his file was about that high, and it looked like he was a mass murderer because I would document everything, and I would send letters to this. And the cool thing, did they send you a letter about him? They sent letters to everybody I knew, wanting to know, is he really blind? Can he really not work? And I'm like, are you kidding me? And people would come in and say, do you know I got this letter? And I said, well, I put you down as a friend, you know.
Hopefully the government doesn't associate you and I together.
Maybe they don't. Maybe
I don't need those kind of troubles.
No, because you're in that high income bracket.
I am. I don't need those kind of
And I'm down in that destitute.
I'm trying to stay out of that high income bracket.
How much taxes would we pay if we were in the high income bracket?
Oh, about $65 million. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think, what's the percentage
It's
right
just a
now?
little less than I make, of course.
Yeah, seriously, what is the percentage of taxes that the folks
Well,
in the upper income
I
pay?
can't tell you the exact number, but my philosophy is if 10% is good enough for Jesus, it ought to be good enough for Uncle Sam.
I love that. Oh, that's good.
Why can't
Did
they
you
live
come
on?
up with that by yourself?
No, I didn't. Why can't they live on 10%? You know, God does.
Can you imagine? Okay, let's look at that. If we called the government today and said
Flat tax, 10%.
Yeah, a flat tax, 10%. I have a guy that used to eat in our restaurant, and this is so funny. We had a meat and 3 vegetables and tea. It was $3.85. And then one day, prices kept going up and going up and going up. I went up to $4. And he also, tea was included in your meal, but milk was 50 cents extra. But because he was such a good customer, I wouldn't charge him the extra. I just gave him his milk at the $3.85.
That's customer service.
Well, the day it went to $4, I said, I'm so sorry, but we had to do this. He said, no, I'm not paying $4 for what I've always gotten for $3.85. He laid $3.85 on the counter, and that was it. Do you think I turned down that $3.85? I sure did not. I put it in the cash register and was tickled to death. The government needs to step back and let us tell them what to do, because I think we could make it on 10%.
I do too.
I think we
cut
could
all
make
that
it on
spending.
10% if they cut the spending.
Well, you know,
I started to say a bad word, cut the crap. Is that a bad word?
Well, you got on to me one time for saying it. I guess it is.
But really and truly, we could, churches do it, 10%.
Yeah.
You know, we could tell the government, step back, look. You know, have you ever looked at the foo-foo they do? Do you know what it costs when they do some foo-foo? Now, we're going to have a little birthday celebration this weekend up in McKaysville, and it ain't going to cost squat because people are making cakes and bringing them, and we've got Harbor Ministries building, and we're just all excited. Well, we could call the government and tell them to have a party. Tell your friends to bring a covered dish. Couldn't we do that?
You could, yeah.
We could. Why don't you do that?
Well, you know.
So they'll know your phone number instead of mine.
I said it a few months ago. We were talking about something else. I said if people would take over and do the things that they expect the government to do, it'd be a whole lot better country.
Right, right.
You know, pitch in, do your community things, and get it done.
Okay, what do you think about the state of affairs today? What do you see happening around you? Have you lost any more yard customers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'll get some more.
You will.
I'm a positive guy. I'm going to keep going. So.
Right. You sold firewood during the winter.
Still am, yeah.
I want to talk to people who have done something to survive during this time. I heard a story yesterday about a lady who now makes candles, and they said she makes wonderful candles. If you are making things at home and selling them, if you made things at home and decide to turn it into a bakery, Deb's Bakery is a perfect example of that. She started by cooking and baking, and people said, why don't you open a bakery? Well, 20 years later, she's the most successful thing going.
There you go.
But it is one of those things. Hard times bring people get ideas.
They do.
Know, they really do get ideas of what else can I do to make money. You didn't cut firewood until the hard times hit.
Well, I did, but I saw it coming. I cut ahead of time. So you just have to. And of course, I burn firewood anyway, so I had to do it for that reason too.
Have you met anybody who's done? I mean, I'll tell you what is really amazing me now. There are more Avon ladies than ever.
Yeah.
Because you can make money. It's a home managed. You work for yourself.
The Amway people. I mean, all those.
They're making
sales
money.
people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They are now saying, okay, so and so
from
laid
home.
me off after 22 years, 2 years from my pension. They laid me off. So I'm going to do something for myself, and I'm seeing that happen around us.
Yeah. I don't know about you, but it seems like every week I hear somebody new that I know that has lost their job.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Now, did your little buddy, your tenor, ever get? He got a job.
He got a job. He's working second shift.
Okay. You do whatever it takes.
He was out of work
to
for just over a year.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we're going to talk to Hans today about something he has done at the Woodbridge Inn to make it work. Everybody today is looking into What can I do to make it work? And I want to share something with you. This lady is really, really crafty. And I went through my cards and letters, and thank you very, very much. I love the cards and letters I get. But this is enjoy the leaves before they fall, and you can enjoy the fall before it leaves. And this is a card that Evelyn Blackstone sent me, and it's one of a kind, handmade by Becky. Is that not the cutest thing? So somebody sat at home and made this card. There are things that you can do that will absolutely, they're sellable, you know, and it's just a creative idea that she sat at home and did. Now, Miss Evelyn loves to do crafts, and she makes things all the time. But this is one of a kind, handmade by Becky, and I think that is the coolest thing. There are ways to turn your talent or lack of, you can learn to do something, and you can learn to market it, and eBay is a great way to market stuff. Trading Time is a great way to market stuff.
It is.
There are things you can do during hard
Well,
times.
I firmly believe, always have, always will, that everybody has a talent. You just got to find out what it is and use it.
Right.
Everybody has a talent.
Everybody has a talent, and
Yours is talking.
mine's talking. You know, I said one day, I don't believe I could do this, but I told Freddie I was going to challenge him because, you know, he's real quiet.
No.
And he's real quiet. And I said one day we just might be doing it, and he'll be co-hosting, and I'll just sit here and see what happens. I don't know if he can.
Ain't going to happen. Ain't going to happen.
He might just fall apart.
When you're off and you're at home watching us do the show, you're at home talking.
I am.
Yeah. Say this, say that. Yeah, I know.
You're right.
Talking at the TV.
Have y'all ever thrown anything at the TV? Have
Well,
you?
I have, yeah. But
Yeah.
it wasn't anything that would break the TV. It was a sock or something.
No. Well,
Or a cat
we're
or a
not going to
dog.
break you. We're going to charge you $12 this weekend to see an amazing, amazing production. Tater Patch Players presents the musical comedy Smoke on the Mountain. It is written by Connie Ray, conceived by Alan Bailey, musical arrangements by Mike Craver and Mark Hardwick. It was originally produced in Princeton, New Jersey. Now, this has traveled far and traveled wide. My birthday present this year is Freddie Brackett came up with this wonderful idea to bring it to McKaysville. So we chose one of our very favorite communities and talked the Tater Patch Players into traveling north.
Freddie's a nice guy.
He loves this, and he said everybody has to see this. So this weekend, Friday night, Saturday afternoon matinee, and Saturday night, and I asked, it was originally scheduled as my birthday celebration, and I asked, instead of cards, please bring a can of food in my honor to put in the food pantry, because right now the shelves are empty in many food pantries.
They are.
There are people who have been out of work. I know somebody who has been in business 25 years. He has not had a job since December 1st. I mean, it's just been dead. So there are people who, the weather, the temperatures, the economy, I mean, the whole thing has been a mess. And turn on your news today and look what's happening in New Jersey. Guess who has 2 trucks in New Jersey? Yeah.
Did you see last night where
19 inches of snow.
well, I saw where most of those places, including New York City, spent all of their budgeted money
yeah.
for snow removal. It
One
was
week.
spent in the first snowstorm. They don't have any
Absolutely.
more.
No. And I said, I just have the greatest luck.
Where are they going to get that money at?
I don't know.
I wonder.
But they said this morning that people sat 9 hours to go to the exit ramp on the interstate, that it hit so hard and so fast.
Well, you know what all this means, don't you? Sometime in April or May, you're going to see an
It's gonna melt.
influx of people moving to Georgia and Florida.
Oh, yes.
They're going to
Yes.
get sick and tired of that. They're going to move down here.
Think about it. When it snows the little tiny bit, now it snowed yesterday, and I'm sitting here on the set
pretty.
saying, it's raining. Well, it was raining here. Well, it was snowing in Jasper. In
Sure
about
was.
10 minutes, it was snowing here. By the time I got off the set, my whole neighborhood was white. But it was gone quickly.
Didn't
thank
stick on the
goodness.
roads.
No, it was gone quickly. Think about the people who have spent now 2 months in this mess.
No,
I
like
don't
I
see
said,
how they deal with
like
it.
I said, they'll be moving south.
If they're smart. Do we need to send them a how-to for dummies?
I think they'll find it. Yeah, they got a
They'll
road
figure it
atlas.
out.
They'll find out how to get here.
I think they'll find out. We're going to bring somebody on with Hans Rueffert, who found his way to the kitchen at the Woodbridge Inn. He is a local young man who has turned his love and talent into cooking into mastering what Hans says must go at the Woodbridge Inn. You know, Hans is the boss now. When his dad passed away, Hans found a great opportunity to do what he was trained all his life to do, and that's run the Woodbridge Inn. So we're going to talk to him when we come back. Right now we're going to take a break, and we're going to the guys who pay the bills. We're going to our sponsors, and I got to tell you this. I've done collard greens like all week long, and Jim Taylor, I love you. I love you. I love you. Last night I had crackling cornbread and turnip greens, and I ate the last of the turnips for lunch yesterday, and I would rather have creamed turnips like he brought me than a hot fudge cake. It was so good.
I wondered what that smell was when I came on the set this morning.
I love turnip greens. It was so good. And all we've got left now is a little bitty crackling cornbread. We ate everything and everybody loved it. So thank you so much. But Annie's, who is famous for her collard greens, is now going to do something else. She sponsors us, and you see her commercials and you see her food. Well, you will see a new edition beginning next Wednesday night. She will be opening at night. A limited menu, but a great salad bar. So she's going to be open at night. And I think that's
They've never done that, have they?
Well, they did a couple of times, and just, you know, it's hard to get a crew for 3 shifts.
True.
I think that was
Those ladies
big
work
issue.
hard down there.
Yeah, and right now they've brought on a young man who worked at the steakhouse for many years. He does a good job, and I hope you will stop by and check them out at night. And also, Thursday nights, put it aside to go to the Woodbridge Inn, because there's something there called Blue Jean Cuisine. And it means you don't have to do like I did this morning and put on 3 different outfits.
They playing Neil Diamond over the speakers forever in blue jeans.
They might be. And this morning I chose a sweater after the 3 times I changed.
Money
I've had this 3 years.
Sing and dance and
never
don't
worn it,
walk.
never worn it. So now that I've worn it, do we put it in a yard sale?
Well, you only wear stuff one time and you give it away.
Well, it
so.
itched, and that's why. But today it's okay. It's not too bad. So, but if you have things hanging in your closet that you thought, well, I don't think I'll wear that, get it out and try it, because you'll feel good and think, I feel like I've been shopping and I didn't go anywhere but my closet.
You can call it your poison ivy outfit.
Yeah. It's kind of a little bit itchy. All right, we're going to take a break, and we're going to come back with my friend, my lemon pie. This is my birthday lemon pie.
Yummy.
Because I tell people, I don't want a birthday cake anymore. I want a lemon pie from the Woodbridge Inn. I got it. I asked and I received. How about that?
You got to get the lid off of it.
We'll be right back, and don't forget, trading time with my buddy Rich Scott. It's that time of year. It's time to do your spring cleaning. Do it a little bit early and get in touch with Rich. What you doing now?
I'm getting this off so I can smell it.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'll smell it for you.
There's your breakfast.
We'll be right back. Woo. That's my buddy Rich Scott. You know,
He's a nice fella.
he is a very nice fella. I love him, and I hope he and Pat will get to
He'll
come to
sell you
Smoke on the
stuff.
Mountain. He'll sell your stuff, and he'll make you some money. Well, I'll tell you somebody who will make you happy. See this lemon pie? I'm grinning. See this grin from ear to ear?
You've already licked off of it.
I knew that Hans was going to show up and bring me a lemon pie,
can't eat it
but
now.
your health has been an issue. We've been trying to do this for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, we have actually, and I think we actually tried it last year as well. In December we tried it, and yeah, my health is, well, that's, gosh.
What's wrong with you, boy?
Wow, if there's no way we could fit that in this time slot. And
We've got an hour.
we've had this conversation many times. I mean, really for 5.5 years we've talked about this. Of course, 5.5 years ago I was sitting right on this stage doing the North Georgia Now Daily.
Right.
We were doing the little
You
live
are the
show.
founder, the daddy, the one who really and truly, and I remember watching it when it was those little blippets.
Oh yeah, it was like 8-minute segments, and then we went to like 16 minutes, and we were like, oh my God, where are we going to find 16 minutes of content?
No, it just cracks me up, because now it's like, I think it was last Wednesday, the hour and a half was gone, and I said, gosh, I wish we were a 3-hour show.
Yeah, and of course that wasn't live either. It didn't start live. We had, in fact, I did the first ever live broadcast from here was done. We did the election results that one night. Adam Chastain, who's in the booth now, was here for that, and of course Hewitt and Stephen and Phil and Dave Garner and Hannah, and we were all trying to figure out what's, Danny, what's going on, and that was stressful. But now you do it every day.
Oh, and to me, live is so much easier than the other. I mean, it just absolutely blows my mind. And have you looked at my Facebook where we put the blooper on?
Oh yeah, God, that's awesome. Yeah.
Okay, and that was taped, and then thank goodness we had it to capture.
Yeah.
Well, one time we had one more. We were up in Pigeon Forge, and Lori Tipton did one, but because we recycle tapes here,
Right.
she taped over it, and it was so funny. It was funnier than ours. It was really funny, and we had people laying in the floor kicking and screaming and laughing. Those bloopers are really fun. Thank goodness here, even with him as co-host, we haven't had any bad bloopers.
Oh, we haven't?
We've had a few moments.
I'll give you
Well,
one right now.
I honestly think I enjoy those bloopers, especially during live television, because it kind of gives you something to feed off of and gets people laughing. And the best
They were
one
laughing
was,
in Town and Country.
Oh yeah. Well, at Town and Country, the one, I think we did 1 or 2 live cooking shows from Town and Country, and with cooking, of course, things can go wrong, and you kind of expect that. So that's really not so much the thing. But I goofed up right for the back because we had the Fannin County Healthy Women's group, and it was a sort of a seminar thing. And so in my, we always count ourselves down. Okay, here we go in 3, 2, 1. They do the thing. We're live. And right off the bat, I didn't call them the Fannin County. I called them the Fanny County. So I said, here we are, the Fanny County, and of course, everybody just dies laughing. Of course, it was live.
There's your blooper.
And I'm like, well, now everybody's in a great mood. Everybody's smart. Before, they're all sitting like they're in church and didn't want to say anything, but now they're laughing and they were cooperating. So, I couldn't have planned something like that, but you almost need those kind of things to get people in the mood for live
Good
television.
icebreaker.
That's exactly right. It's an icebreaker.
Yeah. Okay, now tell us who your guest is. I know who he is because I think he's cooked a meal or two.
He has.
Yeah.
This is Joshua Rascoe, and Joshua started working with me in the kitchen when he was just 15 years old. And man, it has been a long road, I tell you.
Yeah,
There
yeah.
have been some, take any sort of, directionless 15-year-old and put him in the kitchen, and it is a challenge.
Did
but
he start with the same thing you did? Your dad had you gutting trout and doing the basics.
No,
Did
by the time he came on, he was. We were kind of past some of that. We can't right now today barely buy a trout unless somebody brings it in that has guts. I mean, so half the time we're still getting them fresh, but some of that stuff's done for us now, cheaper than we used to be able to do it.
Right.
But he did work with Joe's, so he has been put through the.
Lord help you, and you lived through it. We love Joe.
I would never have had the work ethic I have today if it wasn't for Joe.
Exactly. And I tell people that. I said, you don't understand where he came from and why he was the gruff that he was.
Oh, yeah.
Because sometimes people would say, I'm not working here and I'm not putting up with that. And I said, whoa, wait a minute. You don't understand.
Sure.
I said, this is his life. We have to make this succeed or he loses everything. And I used to feel guilty because I would bring home a lot of money working for your daddy. And he wasn't making anything then.
Well,
it was a very big struggle.
Times, that the wait staff went home with more money than the
Oh,
house,
yeah.
And that still can happen now. And we were just talking a little bit off here, and I hope it's something we talk about more as the day goes on. Is us and like Annie's and like we just lost Crust in Jasper. These mom and pop places, Blue Star.
Right.
there
that is
yeah.
so heartbreaking.
Yeah. So there's no guarantee that any of these places are going to stay in business, and so that's kind of where.
It is really disheartening. You've got a lot of chain restaurants out there, and nothing against chain restaurants, but there's 50 billion of them.
Right.
There's only one Woodbridge Inn, there's only
Right.
one Annie's, and there's
Right.
only one Crust and one Speedburger. It's just
Right.
those types of places that you want to support and kind of keep around, because you're not
Right.
going to have that. People at Fats, they come out to your table and they flip your table, and you're a table to them. At the Woodbridge, we're going to take care of you. We're gonna make sure, like Mr. White works at the Jasper
Michael
drugstore.
White,
Right.
Always wants extra cheese on his chicken parm. I remember that every single time.
Oh yeah.
It's
Oh, yeah.
that personal touch that we can offer
Oh, yeah.
that I don't think you get at the chain restaurants.
Right. And I think that's the biggest thing, because when you leave there, you feel like you've had dinner with friends.
Yeah.
You honestly do.
Absolutely, and that's what I kind of want to mention. Today's Thursday, and we're the Blue Jean Cuisine now on Thursday nights, and that sort of started as a project because people were saying, we want to come out, but it's like and I know that more people are staying home and eating PB&Js, as we talked about, and so we wanted to have a night that was a little more affordable. Although I would say across the board we are more affordable than most of the chain restaurants. Although people don't, I guess they don't realize that. But by the time they go out and get their fried onion and whatever, they spend $80. So Blue Jean Cuisine started as a way to let's have sort of a more comfort food menu. We're doing things like chicken pot pie, and we're doing some of the old things like tonight. In fact, when we leave here, we're going to do seafood Newburg, and that's going to be on the menu
Love
tonight.
that. I love seafood.
We're going to do it as a pot pie, actually. So we're going to bake it under a pastry crust and the whole deal. So, but $12.95, you get the meal and you get a salad and you get a drink, and so.
And then the best part to that, to me, is the $2 for $2 more. You can get any dessert on our menu.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean,
So yeah, it's really the incentive.
Including mine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Including the Cherie Martin
Wow.
famous lemon
Sure.
pie.
So we kind of started as sort of as an informal night, and again, you can come into the Woodbridge and Blue Jeans any night, but we wanted it to kind of name.
I wear blue jeans every day.
That's true.
Yeah.
So we wanted to have a night that was a little more informal and just kind of almost like a family night, friends and family night. Well, what it's turned into is it really has been sort of this night of fellowship. It's great to see, because normally in a restaurant, you're 4 of us sit at a table. You might say hi to somebody as they walk in the door, but otherwise we're sitting here and we eat our meal and we leave. Well, what's happening, the Methodist Church in Jasper sort of adopted it first, and I'm hoping we're going to get the Baptists and the Episcopalians and everybody else, the Catholics.
All three of
coming
those
too.
in the building together.
Why not? Let's
That's
do
right.
it. We had 2 Baptists infiltrate the Methodists a couple
That's
years ago,
funny.
and they felt totally dumb. So, but again, it's not a church themed night, but what's great is people are getting up, and Arthur McIntyre's getting up. He's talking, to the Smiths, and the Whites are getting up and they're talking. It's become this sort of a social night.
Right.
Almost feels like we should put all our tables together and just do community seating.
So it's turned into something more than just an inexpensive night at the Woodbridge Inn. It's turned into this just really fun night, and it's a night that I really enjoy to go in there. And like I said, I'm not healthy yet. I'm still recovering from a pretty massive surgery. And so I was there just 2 hours last week, and 2 hours was plenty. It wore me out, completely wore me out. But I was able to go through and visit with all these people, and so I look forward to Thursday. It's a fun night.
While you got all those church people there seated in the audience, you'll just go ahead and take up an offering.
Do a tithing, that's right, absolutely. Yeah, just pass the plate.
Get it over
Now,
with.
let's talk about passing the plate, because once again, you have just returned from Houston and MD Anderson.
Right.
The cost of your medical care has been unbelievable.
Oh yeah, it is unreal. Cancer is expensive, and I mentioned to you, actually I'll just mention briefly now if I can, we had a neighbor 2 doors down, Angela Hodge, her husband Nate works here at United Community Bank here in LJ, just had a double mastectomy, and they're realizing, oh my God, I mean the parking every day, having to eat lunch every day, just all those kind of things add up, and it's an incredibly expensive thing. And of course, even with insurance, the insurance is going to pay X amount, and the rest of it's yours. So we actually just set up a gift account at United Community Bank for Angie. So anybody who knows the Hodges and wants to help out, you can literally $1.
How old is she?
$2. She, I don't know. And you always don't make me guess a woman's
Well,
age.
guess a woman's age. Is she over 50 or under?
No, I think she's under. She's in
Under.
her 40s.
Okay.
She's in her
comes the
40s.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. I'm cautious there, but no, she's in her 40s, and she had cancer about a dozen years ago. They caught it early enough, and it was in situ, and so they were able to do something about it. But it came back in both breasts, and so they had a double mastectomy. So she's recovering now, and maybe watching now. But so we set up this thing at United Community Bank because somebody was kind enough to do that for me when I was first diagnosed, and it helped. And we literally did. You started where
Right.
people were sending in, no joke, $2 in an envelope.
Oh yeah, I
and
said
sending
if
it to us.
everybody even would send $1.
Yep.
If everybody just, and if you can't afford a card to go with it, I mean,
Sure,
to pick me
yeah.
up a card, I love to read
Oh,
my
sure,
cards.
but a handwritten one is just as nice.
Yeah,
This is nice.
yeah, but
Yeah.
just stick $1 in there and put it in the mail, and
Yeah.
it's amazing how those dollars, all of a sudden,
Yeah.
you'll find yourself at a vending machine as you're going in for chemo or
Sure.
whatever, and you can use that $1 to get yourself a
There have
drink.
been many times where I get weak and shaky or whatever, and I just need a Coke. You know what I mean? And that, like I said, that not that I can't really drink it most of the time, but I'm not a vending machine junkie. But like you said, that stuff adds up beyond the normal costs of. It's a massively expensive thing.
Okay, the doctors said you wouldn't live. The doctors said we're writing him off, he's out of here 5.5 years ago. Doctors have now seen you who are going, whoa, he's still here.
Yeah, I don't
You have
listen well.
amazed many.
Well, and of course, remember in '09 when I had the brain infection, which they swore up and down was metastasis, and they basically told us, get your affairs in order. And we had the sort of, kiss your butt goodbye speech. And Amy and I literally did plan our funeral, my funeral, and even down to the music, So we have had those really rough conversations. And then, of course, we got through that, and then the brain infection came back again in early 2010, just after my dad passed. So, but they knew that the infection was coming from this leak. The leak was going into an abscess in my back, which was going to my lung, and the lung to the brain, and they figured that all at MD Anderson. So those surgeries, every surgery I've had, and I think I've had about 10 or 11 in the last 5.5 years, every surgery has been successful. It's just that the amount of radiation damage that I've had leaves them with so little to work with. So every time they're going in there, they might get it fixed temporarily, and then something pops again. So they really kind of had to, let's get this thing fixed. There were 2 options, so we still have 1 option left. One option, which is our last plan, is to remove the rest of my stomach. So it's called a total gastrectomy. But there are a lot of dangers with that too. They have to remove half of my right lung. They have to make a pouch out of my small intestine. So they have to totally rework the plumbing. So that's still an option, if that, hopefully is not. But the other option was the surgery I just had, which was to go in and remove about this much of 3 ribs in my back. So I now have a sort of a channel in my back that's soft. So that part of my back will actually collapse in. They were saying my back was so tight and rigid because I'm so skinny that my back was popping open. Not my actual back from the outside, but the inside, that the muscles were pulling it open. But by removing those ribs, it actually forces the back to collapse a little bit and gives it hopefully enough space to heal.
Now, we saw the pictures that you posted on Facebook. Gory,
Yes.
gory.
Yeah, I usually put a little warning on there.
He did, and it was like, Freddie's like, you need to see this.
Not for the squeamish.
No.
No, it's not.
And I said, maybe I don't need to see this. You have amazed many. Many, many prayers have gone out for you. Many,
Yeah.
many prayers in this community. Many people have had prayer meetings, candlelight vigils. There have been so many people who have been there to support you over and over and over. we know you as the don't give up kid. I mean, you're not giving up.
Well,
You're
you know,
not giving up.
I had an older gentleman one time say that I was like a rubber ball, and that every time that God throws me down, I bounce right back up. And I said, well, can you tell him to stop throwing me down? I mean, we've proven that point plenty of times. You've made your point.
Yeah.
So,
Rubber
but no,
ball that's tired of bouncing.
yeah, I'm tired of bouncing, but I'm still obviously I've got a beautiful wife and 2 beautiful children that's make me bounce, and I'm happy to bounce for them. And they were there with me for this last one. They came out. My mom too came out, and it was a big help to have them there in Texas. It's
Right.
not the best place I guess for kids, but the attached hotel has an indoor pool, so they got to go swim and kind of have a little fun. But this was a really rough surgery. We were there. We went in the 27th of December and was there through New Year's.
Merry
and,
Christmas.
Yeah, and Happy New Year. I mean,
Yeah.
so yeah, it was definitely a rough surgery. And like I said, I'm just now recovering. I just had an iron infusion yesterday, so I'm a little weak and kind of sore from that. But it's all part of the bumpy road to get well again.
Right.
You know.
Okay, you said that you will be a little bit shorter and it will change your structure a little bit.
I mean,
Is
my
that-
posture. I've always had bad posture anyway, so now I have something to blame it on.
He's actually taller than me if he stands up.
If I stand up
If you
straight,
stand up
exactly.
straight.
And for those of you who are watching, TV adds 10 to 15 pounds. So just picture him 10 to 15 pounds
That's right.
less.
Lighter.
Less than that,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that's right. So my weight's okay. My weight's holding about 153, and I'd gotten down to 135 at one point, somewhere in there. But I was 215 going into surgery.
Right.
So it's.
I have some amazing pictures of you before, and it just,
I don't recognize myself. It was weird actually. When,
it blows my mind.
when I was doing North Georgia Now, it is strange to go back and see those shots. Or
When
whatever.
I first started cooking with him, he was a thick guy.
Did you get to see the Taste of Pickens thing that we did?
Yeah, it was
Okay,
really good.
because
Went well.
we showed that a couple of times, and I still have that on film. And when I look at it, I'm getting used to you like this, but then I go back and I see you before, and it blows my mind. You truly are a miracle. You're a miracle, and your don't give up attitude has helped a ton. And I think that's one of the things with cancer. Your sister didn't give up.
Yeah,
She had a very
she
great
had a rough,
attitude.
Yeah, she had a rough
Yeah.
time. There's that. I don't know if I'm sure you've seen that picture of the frog that's strangling the stork that's trying to eat him. There's that never give up picture or whatever. There's a lot to be said about that. Because I've definitely been in the stork's mouth many a time. Yeah, has been trying to be swallowed, but yeah, it is. But I do now mentor a lot of cancer patients. I do through both the MD Anderson Network, and there's also a place in Chicago called Emmerman's Angels. And I was just assigned a new patient in Chattanooga who's 26 years old who just got diagnosed with gastric cancer, and trying to make a difference that way, because when I was diagnosed, I was lucky enough to have Jim Zimber up in Big Canoe kind of reach out to me and say, look, you're about to go through hell. Here are the very nitty-gritty specifics of the things that the doctors aren't going to tell you. And he didn't do that to scare me. He did that to kind of give me some ammunition, knowing what I'm coming into. So I'm now happy to do that. And again, I always tell people, I'll give you as much or as little information as you want, but if you want to know what's about to happen, here are some things that you kind of need to know. Because when you go to the internet, it's pretty doom and gloom,
It is, isn't it?
It is. I mean, there are now more and more success stories, but I mean, if you just put in gastric cancer, stomach cancer, or honestly cancer, it's not going to be this flowery stuff. It's either somebody trying to sell you some miracle crap. I heard him say it earlier. I'm going to say it again. You said it
She
earlier.
said
Yeah,
it. I mean-
and you know what? Speaking of the miracle stuff, we paid $1,000. Now, you reach out for anything.
Well, absolutely. Yeah.
Anything. We got online and we found this stuff, and I think it was Zen something, but anyway, we paid $1,000, and it came 5 days before my husband died. But he didn't get to use it because at that stage he was almost comatose.
Sure.
So I gave it to another lady, and I told her, I said, Diane, don't tell me if you use it or not, because I don't want to know if it didn't work.
Sure.
I don't want to know if it did work. Well, she ended up living 4 years. But we were like many cancer patients, got on the internet, and we were going to find a cure.
Sure.
We were going to find something that would happen. We were going to find an herb. We were going to find this. We were going to find on every prayer group from here to Timbuktu, just determined to beat this. It's all in God's time, and it is His decision, obviously. But you will look for anything.
Anything,
And
yeah,
I think
yeah.
that on the internet, people take advantage of that.
Well, it's not
because
sure they do.
$1,000 for what we got,
Well, and
but you're desperate.
I'll try not to get off on a big tangent here, but it is really, there are a bunch of snake oil salesmen
Yes, yes.
who all of a sudden, there might be people you're acquainted with, all of a sudden I heard you had cancer. How are things going? Whatever. And you
Oh,
think
I
this is
can
a
think of somebody who
conversation.
brought us a liquid in a bottle.
Oh, absolutely.
And you know the person
absolutely.
too.
And they hand you a
That's
thing and like,
awful
I just
stuff.
happen to be a representative for this wonderful product. I'm like, okay, number one, so then why are the statistics the way they are? If you have this miracle thing, then why isn't the rest of the world doing it?
Why
And-
haven't you?
Yeah, exactly. And what they
Yeah.
usually do is they isolate one food or one property of one food, and they say this is the thing that's going to cure it. But you know, if they say, well, this is from the Amazon, and it's whatever, and they don't have any cancer in the Amazon, well, yeah, because they're not eating Twinkies and all the crap that they're
Right.
eating actual food down there.
Right.
So yes, acai juice or goji berries are great as part of a well-rounded treatment, but you can't throw your life on a Swiss cheese life raft and hope it to save you. So
Right.
I guess that it is. I have had many people under the guise of making a profit on me, and that really is disgusting.
That is disgusting. But we saw that because once you click in and look, then it's almost like your name is immediately out there, and you're bombarded with people
Yeah.
wanting to sell you stuff, wanting to show you stuff. And the person who brought us those 2 bottles, it's the most disgusting stuff I ever saw in my life, and it was dark. Remember
yeah,
how
it's
dark
thick.
and
Yeah.
thick and gosh, awful. But he did try to drink that stuff because he was determined he would have done anything not to die
Oh, sure.
from cancer.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, you'll do whatever.
So it's almost like you are taken advantage of. And I think
Yeah.
was it $40 a bottle or something?
To
It was
start, I
something
think that was the get you hooked price, and then
Yeah.
after that, they want you to have like half the bottle a day or something. They recommend you take the bottle a day. It's just anyway. Like I said, I could go off on a whole. We could do an hour and a half.
It's like
on
you got plenty
had
of, like
a-
you got plenty of money at that point.
Yeah,
I had
yeah.
an event like that happen to me in Statesboro. When he got cancer and I found out about it, I decided, I'd started growing my hair out anyway, so I just decided I would start growing my hair out every year and shave it off and give it the locks of love.
Right.
Hard to imagine, I know, but he did actually.
Yeah, I did have hair down to my shoulders at one point. But the thing that happened to me is I went to a hair cuttery. I'm not going to name the place because but they had a sign on the window that said $5 off if you're donating your hair. And then I found out after probably the second time I had shaved my head completely that the first 2 times didn't count because they weren't actually donating the hair. They were just calling off $2 and throwing the hair away and sweeping it up like they were.
Wow.
They really upset me. It was pretty bad. But
There's any illness. There's always a lot people can.
Right.
Honestly, the pink ribbon things. It's wonderful that there's this much attention and care and energy given towards breast cancer. But a lot of those people, they don't slap the pink ribbon on there. Other than the fact that, people are drawn to that, they
Right.
think they're making a difference.
Right.
But if you read on the package, they're going to donate their X $1,000 or whatever, whether they sell it or not. You know what I mean? So that basically it's the company's making a commitment. And again, it's great that they're doing something, but they're putting that packaging on there to sell a product.
Right.
You know.
And quite often we see people being taken advantage of at the lowest point in your life. Now, we want to talk a little bit about this young man who had open heart surgery. Let's talk a little bit about that because he's also a walking miracle.
like I said earlier, I just had congenital heart problems when I was younger. And then
At age what?
well, I started with them. I was born with heart problems. They weren't severe. When I was 3 weeks old, I had a heart cath. And when I was in 3rd grade, I had an angioplasty because one of the valves in the upper chambers of my heart wasn't open all the way. There's a membrane covering most of it. And then when I got to be in 8th grade, I was about 5'8". And then before I started high school, I was about 6'2", 6'3". And my heart just couldn't keep up with the size that I was getting to. And so doctor told me, well, you got a choice. You can wait a couple of years, but you won't make it to 20.
Wow.
So you're gonna have to have the surgery. So, they gave me the choice to do it right away, or they gave me the choice to wait 2 years. And I said, I'm not waiting with this over my head for 2 years. So
Right.
I went ahead and had it done in 15. And a lot of people say, you went through that. It was tough. It was hard. But the hardest part about it was watching my mom. 'Cause she took it really hard.
Sure.
And so I just tried to be strong for her. You play with the cards that you're dealt, and sometimes you catch flush, and sometimes you don't. But me and Hans apparently get a lot of good river cards.
Well, we wanted to explain the reason I have 2 skinny chefs sitting here.
That's right.
It's because you both had major health issues.
We're definitely trustworthy. We
Yeah,
just
that's right. That's right.
Because I have that sign that says you can never trust a skinny cook. Well, these 2 you can trust.
He actually told me on the way up here this morning, he was saying that he's always kind of felt like, they always talk about in a pack of gazelles, there's always the weak one that's going to get singled out by the lion. But he always felt like he he was the weak
Yeah.
one. He said, but around me, he kind of feels a little safer. Like the lion's going to go after me before he
I
comes
don't have
back
to
him.
outrun the lion. I just
That's
have to
right.
outrun you.
That's right. I think he's got that covered. So that's a pretty good analogy. Yeah, pretty good.
Well, for folks to come to the Woodbridge Inn, number one, it supports you financially, and number two, it keeps another local business in Jasper working.
It does, yeah.
40 years into the works now?
Yeah, we're. I guess they opened in. Bought it in '76, opened in '77. So I guess we're at 37, getting up on 40 years. And the thing is, my folks had the Woodbridge on the market for a time, especially with things were looking uncertain with, of course, Steiner's health at first, and then my health. And they'll be the first to admit, they would, and my mom still, and will be the first to admit, there was a time we had some pretty lousy chefs in there. There really was, and you and I have talked about that. And people are always so, we don't want to tell them because, what are we
That
going to do?
is so true. I swear to you. You just don't want to say anything. They're your friends and you love them. And you don't want to say, this wasn't as good as it used to be.
It's like we're all sitting
and
on
when your dad was
a
sick,
riverboat
Sonia was
cruise, and you see the giant leak, and you're just like, well, should I mention that the thing's halfway? Nah, that's fine. Maybe, and, it's beyond the point of bailing it out. And so, at the time that Amy and I, took over, of course, then my dad passed away, and then, almost immediately after that, I went back in the hospital. I think I spent about 12 weeks in the hospital in 2010, and already 3 this year.
That's more vacation than either of us get.
Yeah, God. And honestly, I've had a couple people almost imply that, you're going back to Texas again, and you're having fun. I'm like, what the?
Oh my gosh, are you
that's
kidding
fun.
me?
So, they don't know. They
Yeah.
can't know what I'm going through.
Yeah.
Even the C test. Those things are, honestly, they're hell. But, they're like, he's going to, I make the best of it. I try to visit with friends while I'm out there, but I'm going there for hell,
Right.
So, but anyway, when Amy and I first sort of on paper said, okay, how do we get this once great cruise ship back, back up? And so we kind of put together our dream team, and I knew I wanted to have Joshua in the kitchen because there are, you have people that come in that do it their way, and I needed somebody who understood what our way was, and I'd worked
Right.
with before, and so we had Joshua Rascoe, Heather Duckett, and then Mandra Jenkins. These were the 3 people that we basically said this would be our dream if we could get them back, and they'd all gone off and done other things. And when I called Joshua, he basically said, look, I've always said if I could go back and work with Hans, I'd do it in a heartbeat. So I got him from Statesboro, and then I called Heather, who'd worked with us since she was 12, and got her back, and then just recently got back Mandra, who's from Ellijay here. And
My best efforts.
no. They all got
She
along
gave me
good.
her phone number and I lost it.
That's true. We had a hard time getting Mandra back because we couldn't reach her. Actually, I had to kind of pull a fast one. I had to call ETC and say, can you give me an unlisted number? And it's good that I had some connections here. But anyway, so we've got our dream team back, and it happened at the perfect time because when my illness then happened, I knew, quite honestly, anybody else would have shut the restaurant. And we really, under any other circumstances, we would have had to shut the restaurant.
Right.
But I'm just confident, and I want people to know that you won't know whether I'm there or not. Obviously I want to be there and hope that I do see them when they're there, but whether I'm there or not, you won't know the difference because I have a crew that does things to the standard that made the Woodbridge great.
Okay, can this young man make carrot bisque?
Oh yeah, in fact he made it on Sunday.
Last night.
Yay!
Yeah. Yep.
Where's my bow?
Yeah, one thing at a time. Invite us back.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, that's is amazing that through all of the hardships that we've had, we've been able to stay afloat. Now, staying afloat is what we're doing. We still got a long way to go, and but more than anything else, we need people to eat. It can be a great restaurant, but if there's no customers there, it's it's not a restaurant.
What about the lodge? How's that doing?
The lodge is on the rebound. After 9/11. Really business travel came to a halt. And that's what we're starting to see finally coming back is business. You can do all these online meetings you want to, but there's nothing like having a meal, sitting down with potential clients or
Right.
existing clients, and having that sort of one-on-one conversation. And so that's what people are realizing, and we're starting to get those corporate clients back.
The marble companies used to all bring people to
Sure,
Jasper.
yeah.
That was the big deal.
Yeah.
And they would have lunch at the Woodbridge Inn, they would have dinner at the Woodbridge
Yep.
Inn, they would have their meetings.
Yep.
And it was a center of a lot of business.
A lot of
going
deals
on.
have been made,
Yeah.
and a lot of the big, even quite honestly, the big, Home Depot and those kind of things, they put their foremen, the people who are building those places, the people that bring industry to Jasper have always stayed at the Woodbridge. Yes, it's good that we have a, sort of chain place on the highway. It's great and fine. And just like everything else, that if you just need a bed to sleep, that's fine. But if you want to be able to come and have a meal and then literally walk up the stairs or across the parking lot and sleep, it's a different kind of experience. We're not trying to compete with the Holiday Inns and Microtels. That's a different thing than we do. Ours is it's a little more, I don't know if boutique's the right word, but I mean it's quaint, it's charming, it's an experience, and it's basically the same price. So I think we try to make the decision pretty easy.
Right.
We're not outpricing ourselves, and
You know the well curb out front? You know the story that Mother and I did the rock work on
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Okay. That day, I can remember thinking, I looked up at that building and it was before anything had been done to the outside. And I thought, this is just the coolest, neatest place. I hope it will always exist.
Yeah.
And at that point, it had gone through, I think I worked for 4 owners before your mom and dad took it over.
Right.
It was a hit or miss. And we really didn't know because, you know, like Willie and Sally did it for a while, and then this one did it for a while, and then Michelle and Ilion did it for a while. Nobody could master it. Nobody could master it. And I kept saying, they just don't get it.
Yeah.
They don't understand, and they don't understand the family atmosphere in Jasper. And
Right.
I think that was one of the things because one of them had this prima donna attitude. You can't do that in Jasper. You got to go sit down with your customers, and you got to be, you know, and that was the thing that made it a little distant and a little cold.
Right.
And y'all have taken that away.
Well, and I still think there's people of that generation that still in their mind for somehow think that we're distant or cold, and they honestly just haven't been back. And I guess that's what I'd like to invite those people to, you know, to come back. And honestly, there are a few people that came during those bad chef times who said, "Oh, we're not going back. It takes too long to get the food. Then when you get the food, it's mediocre." And again, those are definitely gone days. So there's a lot of that stigma, and those kind of stigmas stay with the place. I mean, if you look at where Crust just was, as good as a restaurant as Crust was, it has the stigma from every restaurant it was before. The second, you know what I mean? So the sidebar starts it off, and whatever their problems are,
Right.
even if you have totally new owners that gut the building, whatever,
Right.
that building has got problems. And so there's a stigma. It's very hard to operate a restaurant in a failed restaurant space. And the Woodbridge was a failed restaurant before, you know, so even, you know, 3 decades later, we still have some clients, obviously 30 years older, that still have a negative stigma that we got to sweep away somehow, you know.
And you know the story of Sweet Tea, and we talked about it at your daddy's funeral. Do you know the story of Sweet Tea? He absolutely was not going to give in to Sweet Tea, and I kept saying, Joe, you're in the South.
Yeah,
this is what we do.
That's what we do.
So your dad
plug it
finally
in my
listened.
veins.
Yeah, and he knew that in order to cater to the First Baptist Church, the Methodist Church, everybody, you don't want to say, I'm sorry, we don't
Yeah.
have Sweet Tea.
Now, do you remember Linda Eaton?
Oh, yes.
So
Oh, yes.
Linda used to make a jug, a 1-gallon, like mayonnaise-sized jug of sweet tea that was for special customers. And we started, you know, Sunday after Sunday, started making 4 and 5 and 6 of those. And Joe didn't know about that. That was the secret stash of sweet tea. We were like basically bootlegging. We were like moonshining sweet tea at the Woodbridge Inn.
I know. He would fight and argue about it.
There are many conversations that my mom and I would have saying, look, you know, he's like, well, I don't like sweet tea. I'm like, who cares if you like sweet tea? You've got 99% of your customers asking for sweet tea. You know, it's the elixir of the South. So, yes, it was a big deal when we finally got sweet tea on the menu. And again, it's still, you know, gosh, 98% of the people.
Yeah, we were talking about that on the way up here, and then we got to talking about it too. So one of the things we have tomorrow is catfish, Charleston.
It's tonight.
And it's tonight.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, my day was confused. But tonight we have catfish Charleston, which, you know, Joe, not a catfish fan.
We
Would
never
not
had to
be
do
a
it,
catfish.
never.
Oh, I love catfish.
I do
But
too.
yeah, exactly. I mean,
Yeah.
if you know where to get catfish, it's some of the best fish in the world,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's
good
great
for
comfort
you.
food.
Yeah. But he remembers being a boy in Germany and catching catfish out of a muddy, stagnant pond,
Oh,
and the
yeah.
catfish tastes like a muddy, stagnant pond. So, but it wasn't until we did a show at Town and Country. In fact, it ended up in the cookbook. It's a Parmesan encrusted catfish with capers and lemons and things. So it's in the cookbook. And Dad was there the day that I made that, and he said, "Some of the best fish I've ever had." What is it?
And you said,
And I said, "It's catfish." He goes, you know, he always liked to play with his mustache. He had a hard time sometimes understanding because he would kind of grumble and play with his mustache. And you know, he's like, "Well, it was really good." I'm like, "No, you just said it was some of the best fish you ever had." So, you know, as long as he lived, we never had catfish in the Woodbridge Inn. And so this is the first time we've ever had catfish in the Woodbridge. We got nothing but rave reviews
My
about it.
parents, Glenn, Cherie, and Rascoe, they came in and ate last night. And as soon as I told them, I said, we got catfish, Dad said, no, I don't want.
Yep.
Didn't even argue with me. So.
what about the flounder, which is my favorite thing?
We do it, yeah.
Yeah,
We got it right now.
We got it right now, yeah. And anything that anybody wants, if I've got it in the house, just and if I don't have it in the house, and you feel like, okay, well, I have a special event coming up, and I want to have, say, venison or ostrich or seafood Newburgh, call a week in advance.
Yeah.
Let us
Right.
know. I'm more than happy to make it. And you know, like the flounder is the same thing. You know, I don't always have it, but when I do, if it's not on my menu, ask the waitress.
Yeah.
You like-
If I've got it, I'll cook it.
You like pickles pig feet, don't you?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Let me know. We'll
Yeah.
we'll
I'll
get you
pickle
some.
pig's foot.
Yeah. Well, much success to you, but more than that, great health to you.
Well, thank you.
I mean, you have mastered something that I know the doctors scratch their head. Do you know how many seminars are probably done about your body?
Well, absolutely.
I mean, can
I've
you
got,
imagine?
In fact, it's funny. I've had sort of the intern doctors come up to me. Oh, you're the guy we were talking about. This, and Dr. Hofstetter, who's my surgeon.
And you're like, yeah, let me put my shirt up and show you.
I'll show you. There's like a constellation. It's a roadmap of what to do.
And what not to do.
What not to do, maybe. So yeah, but it is interesting when you have those young doctors who literally have heard of me in seminar where they're trying to figure out, because I don't have a normal case, and they have learned a lot from me. I mean, they absolutely have. They've already changed the way they would have done, not necessarily just because of me, but when I had 5 years ago, they did chemo and radiation after the surgery. Well, they've already switched that around now, and now they do chemo and radiation ahead of the surgery to try to reduce the tumor, so they're having better luck now with surgery. So literally, had I had a cancer a year later, I don't think I would have had all these problems, because they learn from cases like me. So, I haven't had cancer in 5.5 years, which is the amazing thing, because,
Right.
It's got a pretty, like a 98% return rate. So I've been incredibly blessed that my cancer has stayed away. But obviously I've had all the other problems, but those are all problems that came from curing the cancer. So, you kind of had to have both.
It's catch-22.
Yeah.
Now, you eat very, very healthy, and you have really tried to do a lot of things like blueberries, one of your favorite foods. If you walked into the Woodbridge Inn, put the health stuff aside and say, this is what I want to order at the Woodbridge Inn, what would you order?
What would I order? I had Sunday, I had the catfish, and in fact the dish came about from, he kind of gave me an idea, and I said, well, let's sort of healthify that, and I did it with tomatoes, and I did it with onions and whole grain mustard and the whole deal, and we kind of made a dish based on a conversation. So the catfish Charleston, exactly what he's had, is what I had it actually the last 3 times I've eaten there. That's what I've had.
Before that, I would say his next favorite would be the pecan-encrusted trout.
Absolutely.
Or the pork schnitzel.
Pork schnitzel, yeah. So
Angela loves the trout. I mean, she just,
Yeah.
that's her thing when she comes there, it's the trout. So.
Amy, my wife, has always joked that there's almost like a cult of troutists.
Yeah,
Because if people come in and we don't have it, they'll turn around and walk out. And
I've
we-
actually, when we did the idea for the pecan-encrusted trout, we thought about just replacing the pan sauté trout with pecan-encrusted. And I found out that basically if I took the trout
You'd
off
get
the menu,
killed.
I'd be tarred and
Yeah.
feathered and
No,
hung in
tarred
the
and
town.
feathered.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, can't do that. So yeah, but there are a lot of those things, and I guess that was the other thing too, is when people heard that I was going to come in to make changes, they thought changes was like hanging Budweiser signs or moose heads or whatever. No, it's still the Woodbridge Inn. We just basically left the things on the menu that people pretty much demand that we leave,
Yeah,
and
finger
then a lot of the
schnitzel.
things we were just sort of tweaked, and it is very fresh and vibrant food, and it's nothing that's that you could throw in a deep fat fryer, because we don't have a deep fat fryer. So that was the first thing Joe did when he walked in, was he threw out the deep fat fryer in
I
1976.
remember that. Oh gosh, I remember, and it was over here to the left where Willie always cooked, and Willie had it for the children's plates, and he would do, I think he did a chicken something with fries for the children.
Right.
And that was really all he used it for. But your daddy, that was like the first thing to
Out.
go.
Out.
It was gone.
And
Yeah.
speaking of children, that we
Yeah, we-
have revamped. We've got a $5 kids meal, which is it's good stuff on there.
yeah, we got this, filet steak, the crazy noodles with cheese. It's basically macaroni and cheese, but we use multicolored or
Spinach
tricolored
and tomato
and,
pasta.
and so it's there's a lot of good choices. Chicken fingers, the typical things that you would see on a
But
kid's
not
menu,
fried.
We don't. Yeah, they're not fried. Everything we do is in a saute pan. I wouldn't have it any other way either. I've worked in enough restaurants with fryers to know I never want to be around one again.
Now let's talk about your parents a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, you're from Jasper.
Yes, ma'am. Born and
Okay,
raised.
born and raised there. You had opportunity to leave, you did, and then he talked you into coming back. Are you happy you came back?
I'm thrilled I came back. In fact, when
Are your parents happy you're back?
Depends on the day, I guess.
no, my mom is thrilled to death. She absolutely hates Statesboro. I had a lot of.
She's got the Statesboro blues.
Yeah, definitely. In fact, everyone that went to school in Statesboro, that's their favorite song. But Statesboro, it's not a horrible town or anything. It's just that the people there, the old blood does not like the students. So the students catch all kinds of flack. You get a brake job, costs $400. It's just those little things. It's kind of like we were talking about the cancer, where people try to take advantage of.
you,
Same
yeah.
concept.
Yeah.
But when I was in Statesboro, I was getting my degree in history, and I was back for my master's degree. I'd come back for a little bit to cook for Joe while he found a new chef, and then I went back to get my master's degree. And I got probably a year and a half to go on my master's degree. If I wanted to go back, I could, but I had just been so burned out. I have a degree in history, And I just, you know, I got so burned out on it. I was to the point now where I was taking one class because it's all I could afford. One class a semester. It would have taken me 6 years to finish it out. And it was like a blessing when Hans called and said, "Hey man, you know, I'm going to buy the restaurant. I want you to come back." I said, "All right, give me." I said, you know, of course, I said, "Let me think about it." I took about 10 minutes and thought about it.
He called me back that day.
Yeah, called me back that day and said, "Yeah, I'm in." So, I mean, I don't regret it one bit. The only thing I was worried about is that my girlfriend would not be my girlfriend very long. She ended up moving up here, and she lives with the folks right now. So
She's going to nursing school, yeah?
she is. She just works with Piedmont too. So
Neat. Okay, if people want to invite you to speak at groups, how can they do that?
Honestly, my website is just hanscooks.com, so you can email me at hans@hanscooks.com. You can email me at lizard at anything at hanscooks.com is going to come to me. So, but yeah, I mean, and I love doing that. I have a great time doing that. I've spoken to a lot of, you know, Rotary Club and Kiwanis Club and those kind of things. And I teach regularly at the Cancer Wellness Center at the Big Piedmont in Atlanta. I think the next class is February 23rd. And when I'm good, I post that on my website. But I always post those things on my blog, and I do the whole Twitter and Facebook things too. And honestly, that has been such a great support network too. You know, by doing the blog, it allows for people to find out how I'm doing without having to call or worry.
Right.
And I'm also very honest about those things, as you can tell by those pictures. And there was a time where we would have sort of these needling people who would call my wife or they'd call my mom and say, "What's the real story? How's he really doing?" And they've got to go, "Look, you never met a more open person about his health than Hans. I post everything, sometimes with maybe overly graphic detail, because a lot of people who are going through this stuff, it helps them to be able to know what is this? You know, what are drainage tubes? I've got one now, actually, still out of my back. And if somebody wants to know what that process is, they can look and see what it is. So it's, you know, meant to be somewhat, you know, entertaining and educational. But anyway, so I'm always very open and honest about those things, and I am in my speeches too. So yeah, I'd love to do any of that kind of stuff.
Last night I got a call and I said, I know of like 6 people who have gone to dermatologists because I came on the air with Band-Aids on my face.
I remember, yeah, that's right.
And it was like, everybody's like, well, how many days do you want off till you heal? And I said, I'm not taking any time off, I'm coming to work. I've had 6 people tell me they found a problem out of 6 forehead cancer. And one, I got a call last night, and she really has a serious issue, and they're going to have to reconstruct her nose. But I told her, I was telling about Russell Hood. And I said, Russell Hood has gone through the ringer, and he is doing great, you know, and they did all this reconstruction. I wish they could take some of my hip.
Put it somewhere, displacement.
Yeah. But when I got that call last night, and I said, I know I've made a difference.
Oh,
I know
absolutely.
you've made a difference, because if you're open about your, you know, I don't go out in the sun, I've had skin cancer, I've had 2 different kinds, my mother died of melanoma, so sure, I want to share that story. And you want there to be positive outcome. And she went to actually the dermatologist I had on the show. And he found it, and then he sent her to the surgeon that I went to.
Right.
So the cancer diagnosis is not always, doom and gloom. You know, you go and you get the help and you listen.
You know, ultimately, the people that survive cancer come out of it, I mean, I would say 99% of the time with something positive. And I know I have. And I know I have literally from day one that we went to MD Anderson and we sat in the room full of people who you would imagine to be the most depressed, glum, I mean, literally their heads being held together with staples. You see little children in wheelchairs. This is a group of people who have no reason to be sitting there smiling and cutting up. And they're all sitting there smiling and cutting up. And you're like, what can I learn from these people? I mean, we went in there scared. I mean, I literally scared, holding hands like, okay, this is the beginning of a huge journey and with very unpredictable outcomes. Yet we took such strength from these people. And what we realized very quickly was we were at a hospital that was, you know, the focus was curing cancer. And so everybody in that room was there to survive. We were in a room full of survivors. And I think that's so important. If you surround yourself with people who are going to kick this thing, and quite honestly, like you said, you know, when it's your time, it's your time. There's only so much you can do.
Oh, yeah.
But so if your time is next week, well, then you got a hell of a week to live. You know what I mean? So that kind of energy you can tap into. And no, I'm not Pollyanna. No, I'm not, you know, freaking out, smiling. I hurt. I have every reason in the world to whine and moan and complain, and I can, believe me, I can, but I choose not to. You know, I do at times, but I try, when I do, I try to remind myself, or Amy will have to remind me, you know, look.
His idea of saying he complains is, ow, I'm hurting right now. That's his complaint, and he calls that whining.
Occasionally, I see the look in his eyes, and I hurt for you. there are days that I think at a Relay for Life one time, you could tell that you were really, really hurting. And I have a picture of you and Angela that I put on my Facebook the other day. And it was at the Relay for Life. And I said, you have been such an inspiration to so many, to so many.
Well, I hope so. I mean, that's it. It makes me feel good to know that. It honestly kind of makes all the stuff that I go through worth something, you know. So, because like I said, this last one was the roughest one I've had since the initial surgery 5 years ago. 5.5 years ago, and like I said, it hurts now to breathe. But I get these little adrenaline rushes. Like this was something to look forward to. I get an adrenaline rush. Walking through the dining room, making a soup or a sauce in the kitchen. I get a
he'll
rush.
come back there every once in a while, and he'll say, like today we're doing the Newberg, and I haven't made Newberg in
10 years.
10 years, yeah. So I obviously need a little bit of a refresher course. So he's excited about, after this we're gonna run to the kitchen and have a Newberg class. So that's what we're doing.
And I'll be fantastic. And then afterwards, I'm going to crash.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll hit a wall and I'll crash. But then it's my mother-in-law's birthday. We're going to take her out tonight for dinner, and I'll have another little rush. So I try to have my day stacked with. Everybody says, "Oh, you need to rest more. You need to rest more." And yeah, maybe I do. But by having little carrots to dangle in front of me throughout the day helps me get through.
Let's talk about the new look of the Woodbridge Inn, because Amy is responsible for a lot of that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. It's bright, it's open, it's wider, it's bigger. Can we do something about that tiny bathroom?
Honestly, yes, and that's
that's the next project.
Is that the next project?
It is. We've actually already. That was actually one of Amy's first thoughts too. We got to
Have
do
y'all ever
something.
been in the bathroom at the Woodbridge Inn?
You can do what you got to do in there. But,
That's all you can do.
Just don't make plans. But yeah, we actually, there's the hall that goes back to Joe's office back there. So the long-term plan is basically that office has enough space to make 2 really nice bathrooms back there. So you just go down the hall.
Yeah.
But obviously that takes money, and so we've got to, we can't do everything at one time. We've got to get to a point where we can do that. And so but that's definitely in the works.
Is the Woodbridge Inn over 100 years old now? When it was the Lenning Hotel?
1880.
Okay.
Yeah,
wow.
So,
wow, that's incredible.
You remember that, don't you?
Yeah, I was there. We had that day. We had pot roast and sweet potatoes and carrot.
I bet you did.
You may have found her in your history books too.
Yeah.
I
She's in
remember
the back waving.
There is a great amount of history at
There
the
is.
Woodbridge
There
Inn.
is.
Yeah, and Miss Ferrell Starnes is just coming in here with a cake, and we're gonna bring her up here.
Man, you got cakes and pies.
This is
awesome.
my cake, yes, that she made for my birthday, and because of the snow, bless her
Good to
heart,
see it.
she was iced in. There you go.
Coconut. Oh
Woo!
no.
It's a-
Oh, Miss Farrell, it's gorgeous.
That's a snowy-looking cake, actually.
Thank you.
And a card to go with it.
Thank you. Oh, I love it.
Oh, look,
I
she
know
brought
what I had for
utensils. I
lunch.
didn't bring utensils. So she
This is
came a little.
awesome.
Oh, it's a candle,
that's
wow.
awesome.
Candle.
And it will sing happy birthday.
Will it really? Thank you so much.
Oh, it's a
That's
singing candle,
sweet.
man.
That's awesome.
We got showed up with the.
I know.
Oh, that is awesome. Yeah, she called me and said, I made you a cake, but I'm iced in.
Well, now
That
the
is
cake is iced
precious.
over.
That is great. Thank you so much. Do you want to sit down and visit with us a little bit?
Quite honestly, we need to get back to the Woodbridge. So if
Okay.
we can say our goodbyes.
Slide over here. We're going
We
to take
will,
a break and we're going to go to our sponsors. We'll be back in just a minute. And please go visit with my friend Hans Rueffert at the Woodbridge Inn.
Thanks,
there you
Cherie.
go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, you're funny.
Okay. We're back, and y'all thought this cake would be back and gone in 90 seconds, but we're going to save this for tomorrow night, and it will be, it will be with us up at McKaysville at the, there you go, Harbor Ministries for Smoke on the Mountain. So it's going to be a night of celebration. It's going to be a night of laughter. Laughter is a great, great medicine, and when things take you down, you have to look at the positive. Miss Ferrell Starnes is joining us. We had a really, really traumatic family event last year, and this community came together for your family.
Yes, they do.
You visit the cemetery quite often.
Yes, we do.
It's been hard, hasn't it?
Yes, it has.
But so many people love you, and so many people give you a special hug. How's your daughter doing?
Just doing the best she can. It's rough.
And his wife, how's she?
Well, she did get a job. You know, she was going to be a teacher and had just graduated, and they weren't hiring new teachers, but she got a parapro, and that's helping her so much because she does love little children.
Good, good. That's awesome.
So she's much
awesome.
happier now.
And we talked about this a little bit last week. Your friend that we loved, Roy Hartsfield, died
Yes,
of cancer. Now, he had a very short time, didn't
about
he?
6 months
Yeah.
after they found out.
Yeah,
He escorted me in my grandson's wedding on June the 5th.
right.
And I noticed then something was wrong. He had a hard time getting back up the hill to, we had the reception out at Falling Waters in the big tent, and he had a hard time walking back up to the car.
Wow.
And he just took the doctor so long to find what was wrong. Then he was too weak to have the surgery.
Wow.
So he lasted about 6 months.
Wow. Well, he was a really nice guy, and y'all
Yes, he
had a lot of
was.
fun, didn't you?
Yes, we did.
Yeah, yeah.
Almost 5 years we dated.
And laughter it was good. Y'all would, every time I'd see y'all out, you were giggling, you were happy, you were just doing amazing things at an age over 60, and that's all we'll say.
Oh,
That's all we'll say.
way over 60.
That's all we'll say. That's all we'll say. What have you got to look forward to this spring? What's going to happen? What are you going to be doing?
Well, tonight we're having the big celebration of the Citizen of the Year,
Right.
and it's going to be at First Baptist Church. Our dear
Do
pastor.
we know who it is?
Yes, we do.
Who is it?
A Appalachia. Well, I can't tell.
Can't tell you.
Doodle.
Don't bother her with that.
But tomorrow we're going to have Joe Kelly McCutcheon on, and he's going to tell us.
No, he's not.
He's not?
Oh, he can tomorrow.
No, he can tell us. Yes,
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 because
tomorrow
the
he
Citizen
can.
of the Year
Yes,
will know by
yes.
that time.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Now,
Joe helped get him
You
elected.
were Citizen of the Year once.
Yes.
Okay. What does it take to become Citizen of the Year in Gilmer County?
Well, I don't know. I haven't found out yet.
You are an amazing. You give to a lot of things. You help a lot of people. You are one of those that certainly deserved it. Were
Well,
you
thank you.
surprised when you were?
A little bit.
Okay.
I really was. When I saw my children there, that gave me a clue. And my sister-in-law came over from Rueffert and her daughter, and my brother, Dr. Thomas, and from Dalton, and his wife.
So you kind of knew something
So
was up.
something was going on.
Now, what have you been doing in this gloomy weather? How do you stay busy?
It's no problem. There's just lots to do. I go to the chamber and the Lions Club and the Gideons, and I can't think what all else. But I take.
And you bake fabulous coconut cakes. Now, she makes one of the best coconut cakes you will ever put in your mouth, and we're going to have it tomorrow night at Harbor Ministries in McKaysville. We're going to have smoke on the mountain, and if every cake that comes has a candle in it, we may have more than smoke on the mountain. We may have smoke in the building.
Sure looks good.
Are you going to get to come to the play?
I'm hoping so.
I hope so. I hope so. It will be Friday night, Saturday afternoon, and we have to say the biggest thank you to Harry and Lynn Doss. They have provided their wonderful cabin for cast and crew. Now, let me tell you about this cast and crew. They are top notch. They could be on Broadway. They are amazing. They are dead on. They are so good. And if you have not seen Smoke on the Mountain, everybody needs something to laugh about. This thing will make you laugh. It is hysterical. And you're looking at like, those two women are just like two ladies at church. You will see part of your family there. You will see people you know there. It will be a great time to laugh. Now, we've changed the schedule just because you were out of town, right? Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but Bill is here, and Bill will be there tomorrow night. Yeah, you're going to ride up with the Bridgmans and us, is that
Supposed
right?
to, yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Nothing changes.
Have you got some birthdays? We can celebrate other people's birthdays with this cake.
Yeah, happy birthday to John Carpenter. I wonder if he's kin to the Carpenters.
I don't
Anyway, on the 27th, age 5 from Megan and family.
Happy
5
birthday,
years
John, Jordan. It's Jordan.
That's what I said,
Oh,
Jordan.
you did? Okay.
Jordan Carpenter.
Jordan
He's one of
Carpenter.
the Carpenters.
Yeah, and you have a Jordan at your house,
I do,
don't you?
I do,
Yes, you do.
I do. Okay, and happy birthday on the 28th to Patrick Potts from Aunt Anita.
Happy birthday.
And on the 28th, happy birthday to Kayla Mazarine, age 22 from Aunt Anita. Boy, Aunt Anita's got a lot of birthdays.
She does.
Well, here's another one, Aunt Anita. On the 27th, age 29, happy birthday to Matthew McDaniel.
There you go. Happy birthday to all of you. Find a reason to celebrate. We have found you got to be positive. You got to stay focused. A little gloom and doom going on in the winter when the construction guys can't get out and work. It's a tough time. It's a tough time.
Very tough.
Very tough time. And,
Outdoors, yeah.
you know, give of yourself. You stay busy by giving and doing for others. Does that make you, does that really bless you more than it blesses others?
It makes me happy.
It does.
More blessed to give than to receive.
That's right. That's right.
Well,
Well, I
people
hope
are-
you'll get to come and be
people
at
are
the
very
show.
good to me.
Yeah.
I take my 95-year-old friend to lunch 3 days a week.
Do you? Now tell me about him.
Her name is Pat Green, and she worked for years for us in the drugstore when we had the drugstore.
Well, let's
Very
talk
sweet
about going
lady.
to lunch, because I understand Sue's Log Cabin's been closed for a while because of a sickness.
Yes.
How's that?
Yes.
How's that going on?
He's not improving real fast.
Really?
But they are planning on opening the 7th of February.
Okay. Okay. And I know you missed that because I saw you and Roy there a couple of days a week. So yeah.
Yeah, 3 or 4 times sometimes.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
If he couldn't play golf.
He was an avid golfer, wasn't he?
Yes, he
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
Very good golfer.
Wow. Wow. Well, I know you'll miss him, but yeah, he left a mark here, and I remember the day I had y'all on the show. Actually, was he on twice?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you have a copy of those shows?
No. No,
I
don't
bet you.
think
I bet
so.
you Freddie Brackett might dig you up a copy of those shows.
Okay.
Yeah, I bet you Freddie Brackett has the library. It's not the Library of Congress, but it's the library, and we have got
Bloopers.
over 600 programs, and it's funny how I treasure the moments from those, and we looked at the one with y'all on it the other day.
Oh.
Yeah, and I said, wow, it seems like it was yesterday, and I think that was 3 years
I
ago.
heard her when she was watching the one with you. She says, "I wish I looked as young as she did."
I sure do. I sure do.
That's what she said.
Well, believe me, you do.
I sure do.
Much younger than
It's
me.
just, I was talking to somebody the other day who they do L'Oreal products, and I said, listen, y'all need to make Cherie Stay Makeup,
Cherie Stay Makeup.
and you need to give it a name. And they said, well, okay. And I said, let me tell you about my makeup. I put it on at 7 in the morning, and it's still going strong at 10 o'clock at night.
Don't forget the hard deck. You have to add that to it.
That's right, that's right.
That glossy.
Thank you so much for my cake. That is so sweet.
Beautiful.
I was going to tell you what my daughter said about Roy's service. She said it was the most fun service she'd ever been to because they told funny stories about him and had different
I
people
love
speak.
funerals like that.
Yeah,
And,
Joe Rueffert's was like
Kept
that.
everybody laughing all the time.
And that's good to have great memories and
Sure.
to not, yeah.
There's enough crying going on. Might as well
Yeah,
laugh
there's a
little.
whole lot of crying going on, and right now what the world needs is a little more laughter. Well, I know that this weekend, have you actually seen the play Smoke on the Mountain yet?
No, I
You haven't seen it at all,
I've
so
seen
you are in for a surprise.
her on
Yeah,
the program.
yeah. Well, it was nothing like I expected. I don't know what I expected, but when all of a sudden it was so funny, and I thought, whoa, I kind of thought I was going to be at a boring play, and then everybody's sitting there just laughing and laughing, and I thought, this is a cool way to spend the evening.
Would you recommend people don't wear tight pants?
Yeah, don't wear tight pants.
You know what I mean.
Last night when I turned on and Loretta Lynn had just come on, well, I thought, oh, this is Smoke on the Mountain. I wonder why they're showing it ahead of time. This is not good.
No.
And then when it got on into it,
Yeah.
it was Loretta.
Yeah. She was an amazing lady, an amazing life, an amazing story. And at 75, she is still going strong. And it just blows my mind because she's 75 years old and she's traveling all the time now. And at your age, over 60, you are very, very busy. Now, do you like to do cruises? Do you like to do vacations like that?
Well, we did that when my husband was leaving.
Okay.
And,
Do you enjoy that?
well, of course, Roy had been around the world a time or two, you know, managing ball.
Did you honestly
so
like
forth.
baseball or not? Because the
Pretty
opposites
good,
attract.
Pretty
Okay.
good, pretty good.
Okay.
But I didn't know him then
Okay.
when he
Because
was playing
I
ball.
really like baseball. You
I
like
love it. It's
baseball.
my favorite
Yeah.
sport.
Yeah, I can stay interested in baseball. And some of the other sports, I kind of get boring. And then my buddy David White, he's a ball, he loves ball.
You
He
like
loves any
football
kind of ball.
too, though.
Yeah, I like football. You know why, don't you?
I know why.
Yeah, them quarterbacks look good in
pants.
them tight pants.
Oh, God.
But
won't
I
do.
do love baseball, and it's funny. David took me out to eat for my birthday, and we went to Longhorns. And did you hear the story if I went to the wrong Longhorns? You say Longhorns, and I just drive to Canton immediately.
Oh,
And I called. I said, "Where you at? I don't see your car." He said, "Well, I'm right out here." And I said, "Wait." He was at one Longhorns. I was at the other. That was bad. But he is a sports. He loves sports, and it's cool. And I asked him one day. I said, "Did your wife enjoy sports so much?" He said, "Not so much. She had her own little thing, and he had his own little thing." So you and Roy spent a lot of time together and enjoyed some common things.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
well,
we did.
Well, I know you'll miss him, and
I miss him already.
I know you do. I know you do.
And his daughter Carol and her husband took him home with them. and took very good care of him.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And he was at
They
the
live in
house.
Ball Ground, don't
Yes.
they? Yeah, yeah.
In the Preserve Parkway. Beautiful place. Beautiful home.
Wow, wow. Well, thank you for coming to see us today, and thank you for bringing my cake. Have you got another birthday over there for us? Bill, see if you've got another one. And we're not giving up my cake.
Just in, hot off the press here.
Yeah, here you go.
Happy birthday on the 29th, Justin Mason, age 32, from his mother.
Happy
Ain't that sweet?
birthday. Happy birthday to each of you who are celebrating. January is almost over. We are approaching that Heart
Valentine's
Month.
Day.
Yeah, Valentine's Day and Heart Month.
Don't forget that, you husbands.
And you know, before long, there'll be something happening here. The Morgan Cantrell Heart Fund has happened here for years and years and years, and it is one of those big things that everybody looks forward to. You've been involved in helping for that, and I know some of
Yes.
your cakes have brought big bucks
They
there.
have, they
Yeah,
have.
yeah, they have.
Oh, don't forget that big holiday we always celebrate too around here, coming up, Groundhog's Day.
Groundhog Day, that's right. When is it that we know that winter is over? What happens to that
When it
groundhog?
gets warm, that's when we know it. Heck on the groundhog, he don't know nothing.
He doesn't know anything.
He just
Last
eats.
year he was so off on it, yeah.
That's just ridiculous.
This year we want spring early. We have suffered enough, guys. Oh man, it's
When they
been
come
crazy.
out, think about it. They come out just for a minute holding this groundhog up, celebrating, and everybody's clapping. It's like a bunch of drunks around there. They don't know what are they doing. Makes no sense to me.
It's not nearly as much fun as the possum drop was.
No, I'm sure. At least it lasts a little longer.
No. And you know, for y'all who have never been to the possum drop, I'm going to tell you, it is fun and it is wild and crazy.
Made
And
CNN news.
Yeah, it made CNN and it also
course,
made the
Groundhog does
morning
too.
show on CBS. But it
I've
brought
seen
the
it.
Barker brothers to, you know, they're getting calls from everywhere. And it's funny because these are local guys who have worked so hard, and then all of a sudden that little break. So that little break. And as we're approaching 2011, the year of recovery, maybe this is the year for your break. Maybe this is the year you're going to go on to be a
Get some hair.
single solo group. Not group.
I don't know. You know,
Entertainer.
our group is actually going to
You
sing a
could
little.
be Dean Martin.
I already am.
Can
Poor
you do a
people.
Dean Martin song?
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza sky, that's amore.
That's right.
Something like that.
Okay, can you do a Tony Bennett song?
Let's see. How does that go?
You
I
left
my
your heart somewhere in San
I
Francisco.
left my heart in San Francisco, something like that.
That's right. You just
High on
returned
that
from
hill.
California. Did you leave any of your heart there?
I sure did. I love that place, except for Los Angeles. They can have that.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, San Diego, loved it.
Yeah.
La
Miss
Jolla,
Ferrell,
loved
have you
it.
ever been to California?
I've been close, been to Arizona.
Yeah, I've never been. Never been any further than Texas. And really didn't want to go, but he brought back some photographs.
need to go.
It is absolutely gorgeous.
And you need to go to Washington, D.C.
Never been there.
You need to do
Yeah.
that first.
Have you been to Washington, D.C.?
Oh yes, a couple of times.
Tell her she needs to go.
And we went to Las Vegas when my husband was still living because he wanted to see Hoover Dam.
I'd
Yeah.
love to see that.
One of his professors at the university's dad is the one who found the way to get the electricity started. He went to the Valley of the Kings in Egypt,
Wow.
and he saw this insulator laying there, and he thought, well, somebody's thrown it away. So he picked it up and put it in his pocket thinking, this just might do it, and it did.
Wow. Wow.
That
Now,
was Dr. LeConte.
when you were in Vegas, did you do any shows?
Yes.
I want to see
Several.
Cher, and I want to see Tina Turner, and who else? Those are kind of the two that I really
You'd probably
want
like to see Celine Dion too.
And
Probably.
let's see, Dorothy, which one's she in? The Tin Man and all of
Oh
that.
yeah, Wizard of Oz, Judy Garland.
Yes.
Yes. Oh wow, wow.
That was good.
Oh gosh, I've never been to Vegas. I've led a little bit of a sheltered life.
You work too much.
I do work
Entirely
too much. And boy, I'm glad you brought that up.
You need
I'm
a
working
vacation.
tons of hours, and in survival mode. But we're gonna be okay.
I'll go to Washington
We're
with you.
okay. You will?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bill
and you'll
goes
be
to
my tour
Washington.
guide.
Well, from what I've seen, yeah, I can take you around, but
I would love to see Washington.
you need to. You
Yeah,
really do.
I'd love to do that.
Tell them
I would also like to see New York City, but I found out in order to get there, you have to go to New York City, and I just don't see me doing that. Have you been to New York City?
Oh, yes, and when I walked out on the Empire State Building, felt like my feet had gone away. Like I was
Wow.
in midair.
Just don't go this
I
way.
don't like heights.
No,
And the Statue of Liberty was the same way.
really? Wow. Well, I have always been fascinated with the Statue of Liberty. And I would love to see it. But when they told me I'd have to go to New York to see it, I just didn't go.
Well, you can just take you a couple of aspirins before you get there.
I could.
And my husband and I went on to Quebec, Canada, and we came back to Niagara Falls. Well, on the way down,
That's a pretty place.
we heard it announced that part of the falls had cracked off. And we said, oh, no. You know, we've been wanting to go here for so long now we can't see it. But when we got there, it was the American side, and there's not much to it.
Right.
So the horseshoe was the main
Isn't
part.
that something?
Wow.
And it was great.
That's just something.
So we did get to see it.
Everybody needs to go there.
You have so many great memories. You have so many great
Yes.
memories. And for folks who haven't seen her on our ETC commercial, she is advertising our cell phones. And that is the cutest commercial. That is so cute. Now, who dreamed that up?
Well, they said, have it out by your lake and make it an old-fashioned tea party. And I said, well, then we must wear big hats because that's what we did when we were young.
Uh-huh.
We wore
Right.
big hats to tea parties.
Right. That is so neat. Now, how many baptizings have happened at your lake?
Oh, I have about a dozen every summer. Yes, quite a few.
I was baptized in a lake.
And was it built there with the mindset to do that?
Well, after we made the lake, before we moved into the house, a church asked to baptize. So that gave my husband the idea, and he let the lake back down and concreted out a ways and put
Right.
3 little steps down in so it would be
Right.
easy for them. So we've really enjoyed the baptizings all
Yeah.
these years, and I'm still getting to have them, even though he's gone.
Yeah. That is so neat. I saw the steps one day when we rode by there, and I thought that is so neat that he thought of that and took the time to do it. That is
Yes.
incredible.
Yes, we love the baptizing.
Yeah. And she happens to live in one of the most beautiful areas in the community, which is Boardtown Road.
Yes.
So pretty. Have you ever been out that road?
I've been out that road, yes.
We go
It's
that
pretty
way to
area.
go to Blue Ridge. You know, we come off 515 because
I
to be
do
honest
too.
with you, 515 is a nice road, but it's boring. And if you go out Boardtown and then go out Scenic View and turn and go into Copper Hill the back way, it's just a pretty drive. So
Okay.
get out and visit the area that you live near.
And I go to McKaysville that way too.
Uh-huh. Right, right. Well, I hope you'll get to join with us too. Come to McKaysville for Smoke on the Mountain. It will be a great night of laughter, a great night of celebration. We will be hopefully filling the food pantry with canned foods. If you will please bring a can of food as we celebrate life in general and as we celebrate the year of recovery. Bill and his wife Melissa will be there. Travis and Alicia will be there. Travis will be playing the piano on Friday night, so get ready for some great music and then get ready to meet the Sanders family. It will be a blast. Today's been a fun day. I
Colonel
enjoyed,
Sanders?
yeah, Colonel Sanders. I enjoyed having Hans here. I wanted you to see that he is still doing very, very well after a whole lot of, the kid's been through a lot.
And remember, he's 10 pounds lighter than what you saw.
That's right. He is very thin, but he is very amazing. He
So
is
am
very
I.
positive.
So is she.
And I hope that he will. I hope he will inspire you to never give up. To never give up. And join them tonight at the Woodbridge Inn for Blue Jean Cuisine. You know what happens when time flies? We're having fun. It's over.
It's over.
From North Georgia Now Today, I'm Cherie,
And I'm Dean.
and we're leaving. And we'll see you again tomorrow, Friday, right here only on ETC3.
Before I leave this town, oh, town, oh, town, oh, a couple of you are gonna grease my chin before I leave this town, oh.